What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to be doing my first positional ranking of the 2026 NFL draft season. Today we are going to be ranking the wide receivers, giving my top 10, giving my thoughts and an analysis on all my top 10 wide receiver prospects in this video. And yeah, so if you guys do enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more NFL and draft content. And we should have some more positional rankings coming here soon, maybe some mock drafts, that kind of stuff. We're getting into the last almost month until the draft, so it's go time. Finishing up evals and everything, so yeah, if you guys are looking forward to that, be sure to like and subscribe for more. And we're going to start off with an honorable mention here. Just missed my top 10 by 0.1 on my grading scale. Giving a shout out to Skylar Bell, who is my number 11 receiver, who I won't go into depth, but Skylar Bell, good receiver. I got a 3rd round grade on him. I think he will be a good player. He's really good after the catch, really solid hands, and yeah. But starting off my top 10, we are actually going to have one of my biggest my guys in this draft, and that is going to be Georgia Tech's Eric Rivers, actually. So Eric Rivers is somebody I got to super late. He was like my 27th wide receiver scouted, and he's 177 on the PFF big board. And I mean, I love this guy. So basically he's a redshirt senior, 23 years old, out of Georgia Tech, 5'10", 176, very short, very small, but he's got some juice. He ran a 4.35 40 at the combine, 1.52 10-yard split, had some really good jumps as well in the vertical and broad. And honestly, what jumped out to me at Eric Rivers is really the route running. I thought he was a fantastic route runner, and he ended up grading out as my 2nd best route runner in the entire draft. And honestly, I have no idea why he's not getting more hype. The guy has incredible juice, incredible acceleration, and I mean, he just knows how to run routes. He doesn't tip off the DBs. He doesn't raise up before his breaks. He runs low, he runs hard, and he's super twitchy, super quick, his short area quickness is incredible. His long speed is really good. He can beat you down the field, intermediate, stop routes, underneath. And he's got some really solid hands to go with that too. A few drops, but overall the hands looked pretty solid, smooth, and natural to me in some of the games that I watched. But yeah, overall, I mean, the route running ability is really why he's in this top 10. And the reason why he's not higher when I really cover route running and wide receivers is just the size. And the lack of blocking ability as well. He pretty much just doesn't block. Georgia Tech had to take him off on most running plays, but again, that contributes to the size concerns. But I mean, he's just a really solid player, and I would not be surprised if some team takes him in the 5th or 6th round and they end up getting a super good contributor. I kind of had this kind of take with Parker Washington a few years ago, and he ended up going in the 6th round for whatever reason, and now he's turned into a very good player for the Jags. And I can see a little bit of that with Eric Rivers, and I mean, yeah, he can route up DBs with the best of them in this class. I wish he was bigger, and I would have had a better grade on him. He would have been even higher. But Eric Rivers, to start off this list at number 10, very good player, one of my biggest my guys. I hope he proves me right. We'll see. So yeah, that is Eric Rivers at our number 10 spot. And now moving on to number 9, this is going to be Chris Bell from Louisville. So Chris Bell suffered an injury late in the season, which really kind of screwed up his cycle. I believe torn ACL in one of the last few weeks of the season. But Chris Bell, very different build from most receivers in the modern day. He's 6'1", almost 6'2", 222 pounds, 10-inch hands. And he is a speed train, man. He is a big, rocked up wide receiver that, I mean, you don't get many of these guys built like Chris Bell nowadays. And he's got some speed to go with it. He may not have the explosiveness, but once he gets going, he can get up to a pretty high speed. And I would not be surprised if he ran a 40, it was something in the 4.4s. So going into Chris Bell, a lot of people tend to like Chris Bell a lot more than I do. I really have some reservations about him, and it stems with his route running. Like I said, I covet route running a lot when scouting these wide receivers. Outside of hands, it's the most important thing for a wide receiver, and Chris Bell, as a true senior, is just he's still just such a raw route runner. He doesn't really have very much twitch to him, which again is hard to do at that height and weight, but again, not much twitch to him, not much nuance in his routes. He kind of just is big and fast, and that's just how he wins. And if he can't win that way, he just doesn't really win. He showcases some decent route running on his film, but overall, it's just there's a lot that needs to be improved in that area. But other than the route running, Chris Bell has some really good attributes. His hands are super solid. He catches things in traffic as well. He's very good in contested catch situations. Maybe not so much elevating over a corner, but if he has somebody draped all over him, he has very good hands to pluck that ball out of the air while that DB is draped all over him and still reel it in. And honestly, his best trait is easily his after the catch ability. He's basically like a running back after he catches the ball. He's basically like a fast, big running back, and he kind of just runs through everybody. You saw it in the Miami game especially. He just kind of runs through everybody. Again, speed train kind of guy. Once he gets going, he's pretty fast. It takes him a little bit to get there, but he's still pretty fast. And yeah, so Chris Bell, a guy that I don't like as much as some other people, but I do see the possibility of him improving at the NFL level and becoming a very good weapon for some team. And I think even if he doesn't reach his potential, I think he's still going to be a very valuable player just because he's a very unique player. You do not have very many Chris Bells that come across the NFL very often, so I think even if Chris Bell doesn't really ever develop his route running, he could still be a very good contributor for whatever team has him or drafts him. It's just he needs a little bit to go in order to become a true wide receiver 2, in my opinion. I could see him being a very nice change of pace wide receiver 3 as well as of right now, but I just think he needs to get much better in the route running area of his game. So that is our number 9 wide receiver, Chris Bell out of Louisville. And now moving on to number 8, we have a smaller school guy here, and this is Ted Hurst out of Georgia State. So Ted Hurst was a postseason riser in the NFL draft community, and he's going to come in at 6'4", 206 pounds. So a very big wide receiver, but he runs a 4.42. He has an 11'3" broad jump with a 36.5" vert. Very, very good athletic wide receiver at that size and weight. So Ted Hurst, true senior, 22 out of Georgia State. So not the greatest level of competition, but he showcased what he could do out there still. And I mean, just was an overall dominant player in that level of competition. So Ted Hurst, for me, just has so much potential. He may not be a refined player as of right now, but the potential of what Ted Hurst can be is very intriguing. The route running showcases a lot of potential. I don't think the route running is nearly as good as it should be, or nearly as good as it could be. I think he can be more twitchy. I think he can get better at accelerating and decelerating, and I think also he's a little out of control in his routes sometimes. They're a little sloppy, but he has some really good routes occasionally where you look at it and you're like, man, if he was only consistent at that, he would be a incredible receiver prospect. Another slight thing that holds Ted Hurst back is just the hands. He had a decent amount of drops on the year, but he also had a lot of plays where he showcased very, very strong hands. So just kind of has to cut the drops out of his game, and I think his hands won't be an issue, but the drops are still there, and so those will always be a thing that will be in the back of your mind. Hopefully he can clean up the drops, but not great in that area. But I mean, for a 6'4" wide receiver, he's really, really good after the catch as well. Very slippery, very fast. Once he gets in the open field, he is taken off. And contested catch ability is really good, 6'4", which honestly, for a lot of players who are actually like 6'4" or taller, the contested catch ability is like kind of underwhelming. But for Ted Hurst, it certainly is not. And then he's also a pretty good blocker, which is nice to tack onto that. But I mean, Ted Hurst, height, weight, speed freak with a lot of potential out of Georgia State. He's got decent route running. I think it could still improve, but as well with Ted Hurst, I would probably like to see him play through contact a little more. I think when he gets physical coverage, he really kind of struggles to separate and combat against it. But you would hope he would be able to do that better at his size. But maybe with some better coaching, he can get better at that. But as of right now, he's just kind of a little raw in that area. True senior out of Georgia State, so we'll see if he can improve that at the NFL level. If not, he might not be able to improve on that route running, but we'll see. Ted Hurst, a player with a lot of potential, really good in the height, weight, speed area as well. He's just a pretty refined player with a lot more room to grow as well. So Ted Hurst, number 8 wide receiver on my list. And now moving on to number 7 is one of the biggest risers I feel like late in this process. A lot of people have him going round 1. I'm not there personally. I have a second round grade on this player, but this one is going to be Omar Cooper out of Indiana. So I'm going to be honest, it took me a while to even get to a second round grade on Omar Cooper. When I initially watched him, I really did not like him nearly that much. I think I slapped a 5th round grade on him. Then I heard him getting a lot of hype, went back. And I can see the second round grade on Omar Cooper a lot more now. First round is still just way too rich for me, personally. But let's get into Omar Cooper. I'll explain why I'm a little lower on him than consensus. So, Omar Cooper, big breakout year this year out of Indiana with Fernando Mendoza quarterbacking the offense. Redshirt junior, 22 years old, 6 foot 196. So just kind of average height, and as well, he put up some good numbers at the combine, a 4.42 40-yard dash with a 37-inch vertical. Pretty good from Omar Cooper. So Omar Cooper is a player who's just, overall for me, he's just solid all around. He's a solid player. He's got really good hands most of the time. He had a few really bad drops for Indiana, and hopefully those don't come back to bite him in the NFL. I don't think they will, but everybody has drops. Omar Cooper's drops were just a little worse than most receivers. I mean, they are just wide open plays that, I mean, how do you not reel those in? But anyways, I mean, other than those, his hands were really solid. He had some great catches. He had some nice contested catches, but overall just super smooth with the hands. The route running is pretty good. His route running is pretty good. It's good, not great, but I think it is pretty dang good with Omar Cooper. He can consistently separate down the field, in the middle of the field. Honestly, I wish Mendoza was a little better at reading the field, because Omar Cooper would have had a lot more explosive plays, but overall, Mendoza mostly hit Omar Cooper on some of those open plays down the field. But Omar Cooper, I mean, when watching Mendoza film, I mean, I just couldn't help but notice how much he was getting open down the field and how often they were hitting the big play to him. But yeah, I mean, Omar Cooper, really solid route running. He's also pretty dang good after the catch too. I mean, he breaks tackles, he makes guys miss. He may not be like super explosive after the catch, but he's really solid overall, I think. So pretty good grade from me there after the catch. With the size and the play style, I think Omar Cooper is mostly going to be a slot player at the NFL level. I don't know how well he's going to be able to play on the outside. I think he will obviously be able to play on the outside, but maybe not a full-time outside player, but mostly a slot player for me at the next level. And yeah, he's just an overall solid player, Omar Cooper is. I don't really see this super stellar receiver prospect you should go mid-first round like some people are saying, with crazy good separation ability and all that. He's a fine athlete. He's a good athlete. He ran fast at the combine. On tape, he's a fine athlete. But overall, I just think he's a super solid player. I think he's got a really high floor. Not as high of a ceiling, I think, as you would want for a first round wide receiver, but I mean, Emeka Egbuka went in the first round last year with not that high of a ceiling, and he played really well for half the season. So we'll see what happens with Omar Cooper, but overall, really solid player, high floor, good route runner, good hands, good after the catch. I mean, decent in pretty much all areas, good athlete. Just a really solid second round wide receiver prospect in my opinion, and nothing more, nothing less really than that for me. I think first round, I would like him. If I were to think about Omar Cooper in the first round, I would probably like him to be a better athlete, a little better, more explosive as a route runner, I think, and obviously cut those really bad drops out of his tape. Can't do much about the size with him. Of course, it would be nice for him to be like, an inch taller, a little 5 pounds heavier, but overall, Omar Cooper, again, super solid player. He comes in at number 7 with a second round grade. And now going to number 6, a player with the exact same grade as Omar Cooper. I just kind of ranked him higher a little bit on personal preference and potential. This is going to be Denzel Boston out of Washington. So there's a big dilemma with Denzel Boston, and it is, of course, are you getting Drake London or are you getting Keon Coleman? That's it with Denzel Boston, man. He's 6'3", 212, big 9 3/4 inch hands. Did not run at the combine. Not surprised. He's not very fast. I do think he is faster than Keon Coleman, though, and I will go into that conversation a little later. But let's just talk about Denzel Boston. So, overall, Boston, his best trait, easily, the guy has great hands. He catches nearly everything. He goes up and elevates. He uses every bit of that 6'4" frame. He goes up and snags passes over these DBs, comes down with them. I mean, in traffic, over DBs, anything, he will come down with it. And he was awesome in contested catch abilities. I think he was 76% contested catch percentage, which is just amazing. You really don't see that number that often. But yeah, super solid hands, catches almost everything, and contested catch ability is really his specialty as well. He is just a fantastic blocker, man. I mean, you really would like to see more of these bigger wide receivers block a little better, but Denzel Boston blocks his ass off. I mean, he gets down in there, he walls off DBs with ease, and he's a very good blocker, and that raises his ceiling, or raises his floor for me as well. But overall, an okay athlete as well. I mean, for being 6'4", he's a pretty decent athlete. He's nothing crazy. He's pretty slow. I mean, he's probably got 4.57, 4.58 speed, something around that. No surprise he didn't run at the combine. But yeah, I mean, at that size, it's hard to be twitchy, and he certainly does not have a lot of twitch to him. And yeah, that just brings me to the biggest drawback with Denzel Boston is just the separation ability. Outside of catching the ball, the most important job for a receiver is getting open, and Denzel Boston really just can't. Against like really good physical coverage, you don't see him separate. And in the NFL, not all these contested catch abilities, all these contested catch opportunities are going to be 10 times harder against NFL DBs who know how to play the ball a lot better than a lot of these Big Ten DBs. And while I think Denzel Boston will still be a very good contested catch guy in the NFL, I think he has better contested catch ability than Keon Coleman. It's not going to be as automatic, and you're going to have to be able to separate. And right now, Denzel Boston has not shown good ability to separate, and that's why he's a low second round grade for me. And the same as Omar Cooper. I think he could get better at route running. I think it's going to be a little difficult, but I don't see the first round ability with Denzel Boston for me, man. I mean, just I can't take a receiver in the first round who can't separate. And Denzel Boston is one of those players. He's one of those archetypes. And I think going into the conversation of is he Drake London or is he Keon Coleman, I think he's a little bit in between. I think he favors the Keon Coleman side just because Drake London is just so good. But I think he's a little in between. I think I don't think it's fair to compare him to Keon Coleman. By the way, when Keon Coleman was coming out, I had a third round grade on Keon Coleman. So not to toot my own horn there, but I kind of saw the vision with Keon Coleman and did not see him as a high second round player. Denzel Boston, I think, has better long speed. I don't think he's a 4.6 wide receiver like Keon Coleman was. I think he is a slightly better low 4.5s kind of guy. So not great, but a little better. And I think he is overall twitchier in his routes. He may not be a very twitchy player just because of his size and all that, but I think he is better as a route runner than Keon Coleman, just because I just think Keon Coleman was such a terrible route runner coming out. Denzel Boston at least shows a decent ability to separate, and I think the better long speed does play into that. But yeah, Denzel Boston, I think just he's basically a better version of Keon Coleman is what he is. He's faster. He's a little bit better of a route runner. He's better in contested catch situations. Keon Coleman probably could have been better as a contested catch wide receiver at Florida State. Denzel Boston certainly showed no backing down in contested catch situations at Washington. So Denzel Boston comes in at number 6, a very polarizing player. I just don't see the first round ability with Boston. Very fun player, though. I think he could be a very, very good wide receiver 2 at the NFL level if he hits some green lights in the route running area. I just don't see very much wide receiver 1 potential with his lack of route running ability. So number 6, Denzel Boston. And now number 5, another guy that I just really, really like, man. It's Jeremy Bernard out of Alabama. One of the highest floor wide receivers in this draft, in my opinion. I love Jeremy Bernard, man. I think he's such a smooth player. Just glides out there on the field. He may not be super fast, and honestly, a 4.48 40 was super awesome for Jeremy Bernard, in my opinion, at the NFL Combine. He had some decent workouts other than that. 10.5 broad jump, 6.71 3-cone, which is pretty dang good as well. But yeah, jumping into Jeremy Bernard, 6'1", 206, very good size overall, and 9 7/8 inch hands, so very good hands in terms of size, and overall ability with his hands. They're very smooth. He catches a lot very easily. He had one really bad drop in the Oklahoma game that we don't talk about, but he also had a really good catch in the Oklahoma game, elevating over a DB and make the grab. And I mean, for a player who's not super fast or super like crazy athletic, I mean, Jeremy Bernard is a very, very good player after the catch, man. He's just super smart. He knows how to break angles. He knows how to make people miss, break tackles. Great receiver after the catch for being not that great of an athlete. And I mean, it's awesome to watch him make guys miss out there. But yeah, overall, Jeremy Bernard, he's basically Omar Cooper, just I think taller and maybe not as fast, but I think he's just taller with better ability after the catch, and I trust his hands a little more than Omar Cooper just because he had less really bad drops than Omar Cooper did. And as well, I think his blocking is phenomenal for his size. He's He's a player who Alabama used on insert blocks against some DBs and safeties, and he performed really well. And honestly, with that being said, I think Jeremy Bernard has Kyle Shanahan written all over him, man. He's a receiver who is a pretty decent route runner. His route running ability against man coverage is really kind of concerning, but I think against zone, he's a very, very good route runner. He understands how to beat zone in every way. But he's a player with super solid hands, super good after the catch, and he's just a damn good blocker. And I think Kyle Shanahan's going to love him. I don't know if he would take Jeremy Bernard at 27, but if he gets to whichever the Niners, I think the Niners have a second round pick, I would assume. If he gets to that Niners second round pick, I don't think they would hesitate to take him. But I think there's a chance they could take him just at 27. I mean, they took Ricky Pearsall in the first round 2 years ago. By the way, Pearsall, good player. Just he needs to stay healthy, man. But Jeremy Bernard, not a lot of health concerns with Bernard for sure. But overall, he's just a great player, man. He's gonna be a good player in the NFL. It's super high floor, probably one of the highest floors of any receiver in this draft class. Really good hands. Route running ability against zone is awesome. Against man, could definitely improve. I think he does struggle a little bit with that the physical coverage and just getting a lot of separation against physical man coverage. So hopefully he can improve that. Really good after the catch. I will say contested catch ability with Jeremy Bernard severely underwhelming. He had the one catch against Oklahoma, which was awesome. Other than that, the dude just really could not catch anything in contested catch situations. So I really hope that improves. But overall, really solid player. Jeremy Bernard comes in at my wide receiver number 5. And now at my wide receiver 4, I have a player who the draft community seems to be souring on recently, and I just don't get it at all. And a lot of people may be surprised to hear this, but I mean, I have a true first round grade on Casey Concepcion, man. I love this player, and I watched him, gave him a first round grade, and then I just saw some of these guys, like that franchise guy and some of these other people on draft Twitter, just saying Casey Concepcion's more of a day 2 player. I went back, watched, I was like, maybe I was too high on him. No, man, I liked what I saw. I saw what I saw again, and I think Casey Concepcion is a first round wide receiver, man. I really do. 5'11 and 5'8", 196, true junior, 21 years old, so younger guy. Smaller hands, 9 1/4 inch hands, which could contribute to some of his deficiencies we'll talk about later. But, I mean, Casey Concepcion, super fun player, transferred from NC State to Texas A&M. And apparently I heard he's got some knee injury that I guess is lingering right now, which might push him into day 2, unfortunately. We'll see. But not here to talk about his medicals, here to talk about the player. Casey Concepcion, we'll get it out of the way quick. He has some of the worst hands in this draft class consistently. He has a lot of drops, and that's the job description. Is you got to catch the ball, and he just, the tape is littered with drops all over the place. So his hands just need to be more consistent. But the thing is, he showcases really good hands. He showcases really good hands through contact as well. He's for a smaller guy, he is very good in contested catch situations. He can go up and get it for sure. You saw in the Notre Dame game, he elevated over some DBs to make a few plays. And overall, I think his route running, I mean, he showcases some really, really good routes on film, man. Especially against Notre Dame. I mean, as a Notre Dame fan, he tore up the Notre Dame secondary. And if I got to get it out of the way right now, I mean, if this guy had any semblance of decent quarterback play, he would have had a season for the ages. I'm sorry, Texas A&M fans, I have no idea how you dealt with Marcel Reed the whole year. Yeah, he was not good. And just saying not good is probably an understatement, but we're not here to talk about Marcel Reed. We're here to talk about Casey Concepcion. I mean, he was torching the Notre Dame DBs all game long. But yeah, route running ability, very, very good from Casey Concepcion. But I think he can get a little more consistent. There are some times out there where the routes aren't as good as you want them to be. But for the most part, I think he's a very good route runner. And I think he showcased a lot of really good routes so far with some room to grow as well. And I think similar to Luther Burden last year, I mean, he's just a natural after the catch, man. He makes you miss. He runs through you. He's super, super good receiver after the catch. He's got super good speed as well. I mean, super, super fun player. Nice gadget player. He could also be a Kyle Shanahan guy as well. Does not block as well as Jeremy Bernard, but does certainly. And again, for a smaller guy, contested catchability is good, man. It's really, really good. So Casey Concepcion, a guy that the community is soured on, I disagree. I think he's a first round receiver through and through. I think he's got the route running. I think he's got the athletic ability, the after the catch, contested catch. I just think if he had better hands, man, I mean, you're talking about a really, really good wide receiver prospect. Just need the hands to become more consistent, or else, I mean, he may not be very good at the NFL level if he can't catch the ball. But we'll see. Hopefully those get more consistent. I think they definitely can be. I think Casey Concepcion has the ability to be a very high-end wide receiver too at the NFL level. So there's Casey Concepcion at number 4. And now we get into the vaunted big 3. Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon, Carnell Tate. Who do I have where? Well, we're going to start it off at number 3 with the, I think, at this point, consensus wide receiver 3 of the big 3, and that's Jordan Tyson from Arizona State. Man, this guy cannot escape the injury bug. I mean, he almost defines it. I mean, he's been injured, I think, every single year of his college career, and he's got a lingering hamstring injury right now that is hindering him from working out on his pro day as well. He did not test at the NFL Combine either, so super, super concerning there from Jordan Tyson. But getting into the actual player, 6'2", 203, very good size from Tyson. Again, did not really work out at the Combine. Actually did the bench press, 26 reps on the bench press, but if you actually watched, most of those reps shouldn't have counted. So, but you know, you don't draft wide receivers to bench press, so we'll skip past that. Overall, Jordan Tyson, he is the best route runner in this draft class, and that's why I think that's pretty much the only reason why he still has a first round grade for me. Is just because of his pure route running ability. He knows how to set guys up. He's super twitchy, super smooth, just glides through the defense all over the field. Very, very good route runner is Jordan Tyson, and overall solid hands. I do think his hands are a little overrated. I think people say he has these super solid hands. I saw a little bit of inconsistency there from the hands, but overall, very, very good. Yeah, I mean, 6'2", he can go up and get it for sure. He's pretty good in contested catch scenarios. Again, but he doesn't really find himself in too many contested catch scenarios just because he's generating really good separation most of the time. But yeah, he on the field, he looks like a pretty good athlete. I think if he ran the 40, he probably would have been somewhere in the 4.4 range, 4.47, 4.46, something like that. But yeah, I mean, he's all right after the catch. He's nothing crazy after the catch, but he's solid. But overall, his calling card is his route running ability. He gets open. I do think, again, his route running ability is slightly overrated. I don't think he's like the super awesome route technician. I do think he's the best route runner in the class. But I do think he can still improve in that area. And overall, Jordan Tyson is a player that I really, really loved watching the 2024 tape. I thought he was going to be a better prospect than I had graded than Tedero McMillan. Turns out I just didn't like the tape this year nearly as much, and the injury thing is just, you can't really look past it. It's blatant, just really, really not good for Jordan Tyson. But you know, it is what it is, and hopefully he can escape that injury bug at the NFL level. We will see. So, yeah, Jordan Tyson, my wide receiver 3, the third out of the big 3 for me, just needs to escape the injuries, and overall, just needs to be on the field more. But he's a very solid player, really, really good route runner, and he should be a very good player at the NFL level, pending the medicals, of course. And now we're getting to my wide receiver 2, and this one is actually going to be Makai Lemon out of USC. So Makai Lemon, true junior, 21 years old, 5'11", 192, smaller guy, not a great athlete. I think he's a little slower on tape, probably got 4.49, 4.5 speed, which is what a lot of people say he ran at his pro day, which I think he had clocked in at around 4.48 to 4.52 range, which probably makes sense. So Makai Lemon, he's going to be a lot of people's wide receiver 1 for sure, and I get that. I'm going to be honest, when I first started getting film for the video, I had Makai Lemon as my wide receiver 1, and last second, I think I switched him and Tate just because, well, I'll get into it later, but Makai Lemon overall, I mean, you want to see a future NFL superstar, throw on the Iowa tape, man. That Iowa game from Makai Lemon is the best game from a wide receiver in this draft class, easily. I mean, he was just dominating. He could not be stopped. He was unstoppable in that game versus Iowa, was making some inconceivable catches in the rain, nonetheless. I mean, he is just a super, super awesome player. He went to USC. I mean, you're going to see Amon-Ra St. Brown thrown around as a comp for Makai Lemon, and I don't think that's crazy at all. Very similar players. Obviously, Amon-Ra, not as good of a prospect, went 4th round, but, I mean, Makai Lemon, the hands are elite. The hands are just elite. 0.1 away from a generational hands grade for me for Makai Lemon. I mean, 9.8. About as good as it can get without being generational. He does have a few drops on his film, so that's what kept him from being a 9.9 in the hands department. But, I mean, just catches everything. It's like a suction cup. Route running ability, it can get a little dicey versus physical man coverage, but overall, I saw a good amount of separation from Makai Lemon. I think, again, physical man coverage, I think he can improve his route running in that area, but pretty good. And then after the catch, I mean, he's really good after the catch too, man. He knows how to make guys miss. He gets chunk yards after the catch. And, yeah, and I mean, again, like I said in the Iowa game, for a small guy, the guy elevates and gets contested catches. You don't see guys like 5'11", 192 making the plays on the ball that Makai Lemon does. And, I mean, it's just outrageous, man. He is a super, super good player. Very, very good in contested catch ability. Just catches everything. Good route runner with the ability to improve, I think. I think for sure he got DBs in his hip pocket a little too much, but I think he did show a good ability to separate as well. Good after the catch. I mean, Makai Lemon is just a super, super good player. He's going to be one of the best receivers in the league, I think, one day. He's going to be a super good NFL wide receiver. Wide receiver 1 might be a little harder of a path to get, as if he improves his route running and gets, like, you know, a little faster. I think he could certainly be a wide receiver 1 at the NFL level. I mean, look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. Look at the guys winning. JSN, Amon-Ra St. Brown. These guys, they're not the most athletic, but they just make plays, man. They make plays on the ball. They get open. They're just super good players. And I think Makai Lemon is another one of those guys, man. I think Makai Lemon is an awesome player. And yeah, very, very high on Makai Lemon. But I did drop him down to my wide receiver 2 while recording this video. But getting into my wide receiver number 1 then, it is going to be Ohio State's Carnell Tate. Very funny situation that Carnell Tate is my number one wide receiver in this draft class, considering he wasn't even the best wide receiver on his own team. Shout out Jeremiah Smith. Cannot wait for that eval next year. But Carnell Tate, 6'2", 192, 10 and a fourth inch hands, 4.53 at the combine. I think he plays faster than a 4.53. I don't think he's super slow. All right, well, we'll get into it. I also gave him the same hands grade as Mekhi Lemon. He was charted with 0, not a single drop by PFF this past season. He caught every single ball that hit his hands, within reason, of course. Carnell Tate, his calling card is just his reliability. He catches everything. He's just a super safe target, and as well, with somebody who their calling card is being a super safe target, he's got some really good deep threat ability, man. He's making plays downfield for Ohio State, it seems like every single game. He's got pretty solid route running. I think he's another guy who, can get better against physical man coverage, but I think the promising thing with Carnell Tate's route running is how much he improved from last year to this year as a route runner, and he's still young. He's still just a junior, so if he improved that much within a year as a young player, I think he can still improve his route running, and if he still improves his route running, you've got a dominant wide receiver 1 at the NFL level. He's a guy who's lethal at all areas of the field, maybe not so much underneath, but in the intermediate in deep areas of the field. Carnell Tate is just dominant. He's got awesome contested catch ability. 6'2", he catches everything. He goes up and gets it. You saw it versus Texas week 1. You saw it throughout the season, and this play versus Wisconsin as well. Just a dominant wide receiver, man. And as well, I think one of his best traits is his blocking. Another big guy who actually will get down and dirty and block. He's a great blocker. I love Carnell Tate. I think he's a super fun player. Not even the best receiver on his own team, which is just absolutely wild, but has amazing hands, amazing contested catch ability, is a good route runner. Just torches guys deep, is a fantastic blocker. The one singular area I think Carnell Tate is not very good in is after the catch. He's basically non-existent after you give him the ball. Just watching this play, watching the infamous play versus Minnesota, he catches this drag route and he's got all green grass in front of him. Let's see what he does with the football in his hands. Yeah, not great. So other than his run after catch ability, Carnell Tate is just a very awesome wide receiver prospect all around. I think he's a good route runner. We talked about the hands, they're amazing. He goes up and gets it. I would not shy away from taking Carnell Tate in the top 5, especially in this draft class. And I think he's a super fun player. I think he has a very high potential to be a wide receiver 1 at the NFL level, especially if he can keep improving his route running ability. So we will see. But yeah, that is my top 10 wide receivers in this draft class. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I had some interesting takes on here. I'd love to know what you guys think. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.